Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are, parts of the world. And thanks everybody for tuning in onto this edition of Arsenal News. Now, we're going to be discussing a couple of stories in this one, transfer news in there. The possibility that the league, EPL, the Premier League, the beautiful league, could be cancelled or could be halted to deal with COVID-19 cases. We will dive into that. And of course, the comments from Ian Wright and a couple of other legends saying that the way we are treating Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is absolutely unprofessional and deserving and really disrespectful to a former Arsenal captain and one of the players, one of the brands, one of the biggest talents there in the Arsenal squad. We will dive into all that, and could we sign Mason Greenwood? What is happening with Dusan Vlahovic? All that in this video. So make sure you also smash a like on the video, people. It's really hard to create very good content. You guys should know that. And because to bring you good content, it is so expensive. It's so tiring. It's very time consuming. But do me a favor. One reward like this is that like button. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's get this to 300 likes. Yesterday there, we were so close to 300. We got to 299. One like this is what's the difference. But of course today we will get to 300 likes. Make sure you hit that like button. But of course, before we get into the content, lads, allow me to introduce to you Melbet. We are sponsored by the people, beautiful people at Melbet. They're sponsoring our video. They're sponsoring this video today, and they are saying if you want to earn extra cash, if they want, if you want to earn some little money, off your passion, if you want to earn some little money after enjoying football as you enjoy football, it is easy. Bet with Melbet. Of course, join me at Melbet. Link is in the video description. I will be giving you betting tips on a daily basis, courtesy of Melbet. So make sure you do click the link in the description. Sign up with Melbet. Use my promo code Cossy so that you'll get a 300% bonus. But also, you will be able to support the channel. Of course, all of you do want to support the podcast. All of you want to support Arsenal content creators. That is the way you do it. Download Melbet or use the link in the description to sign up with them on their website and tell me later. I'll be giving you playing tips on a daily basis. Let us bet with Melbet. Make sure you're over the age of 25 and please do bet responsibly because the game could be very addictive. But anyway, let's get into the content right about now, the lads. Let's start off with Alexander Lacazette. Now, reports today from Calcio Mercato are saying that Alexander Lacazette could be going to AC Milan. That could be his next destination. Now, a couple of reports have actually talked about Alexander Lacazette. Mikel Arteta has already come out and told us that they want the player to stay. They would really love the player to stay, but there is a big problem. There is a very big big problem with Alexander Lacazette. He wants a long-term contract, and Arsenal can only offer him a short-term contract like 1 year. The player wants close to 3 years there. In terms of contract extension, Arsenal do disagree. They are saying if it's not 1 year, you're going to leave this place. Of course, Alexander Lacazette is also saying if it's not 3 years, I am going to leave Arsenal. I am going to leave this place. So it's a very big war. It's a very big war between Arsenal and Lacazette. We want him to stay. He wants to stay on a long-term contract. We want him to stay on a very short contract, just 1 year of extension. Now, indeed, the player is really wanted by a couple of clubs. ATM there, they're interested. Inter Milan also interested in the player. Newcastle, I can never fail to mention them because they want another striker, and they have already caused problems in our deal with Dusan Vlahovic. We will get into that a little bit later on. But what I'm talking about here is Alexander Lacazette. I'm talking about the only striker that is on fire at Arsenal at the moment. I'm talking about the only striker that we have. Edin Nketiah and Alexander and Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, they have really let us down this season. So it is only one player. There is only one hope that we can actually rely on. There is only one player we can turn to, and that is Alexander Lacazette. And of course, at the moment, when you look at the hierarchy, he is our captain, and he's been captaining us in the last two fixtures. We've won them, which is really interesting, but also think about the fact that he is one of the most experienced experienced players in the side at the moment. Letting him go in January for me is something that I really do not consider. It makes no sense. In the summer, I said it. We could sell him. We should sell him and bring in someone new. Bring in someone with fresh legs. Bring in someone with a lot of talent. Bring in someone that can actually add something new in the long term. Look, I really do like I said, I think his time at Arsenal has been a total waste of time ever since he signed under Wenger. Things have actually not worked out the way he would wish. Things have actually not moved in the direction he would love as a player. But I'm gonna say this: if Arsenal really want to keep Alexander Lacazette, then I might not be very, very negative on it, because the reason there is I thought Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang was going to stay for another year as we bring in new strikers. But if it's going to be Aubameyang leaving in January or in the summer, like Fabrizio Romano is saying, then I will absolutely agree with the fact that Lacazette should stay at least for another year at Arsenal. Now listen, if Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is going to stay at the club, which is really, really at the moment really unlikely, I think one of them should leave. It's either Lacazette leaves and Aubameyang stays for another year, or Aubameyang stays, or Aubameyang leaves and then Lacazette stays for another year. So what I'm gonna say, people, is if at the moment it looks like Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is going to be leaving Arsenal football, is gonna be moving on, with his career to another club. So Lacazette, we should fight to keep him for another extra year as we groom in the new strikers, as we groom in the new breed of players that we are looking at, maybe the likes of Vlahovic, maybe the likes of Jonathan David, because think about it, they're not going to come from wherever they are, come at Arsenal and click right away. It might not be that easy. The Premier League is a very difficult league. You might need to get some feet sorted out. You might need to get your mindset sorted out. You might need a lot of things to adapt to the Premier League as a striker. It's a very physical league. It's a very, very relentless league. It's a very, very, very highly paced league. So I think as we prepare the new strikers, as we prepare the new forwards, we need at least one of our players, one of our senior strikers, to stay for another full year as one of the new strikers settles in really, really well. So Alexander Lacazette at the moment wanted by AC Milan. I think it's a good deal. In the summer, he's gonna sign on a free contract. That means he gets a high sign-on fee, and also that means he will really get decent wages wherever he goes. What are your thoughts on Alexander Lacazette? Has he really impressed you this season? I think it really did impress Mikel Arteta last season. This season, yes, he is the man. He is the man leading that forward line. And of course, like Mikel Arteta said, he is really bringing out the best out of every player. That is what you want in such a striker. That is what you want in your striker. A striker that engages all the team. A striker that really brings a lot of quality out of his forward line and also his midfielders. That is Alexander Lacazette for you. Let me know in the comments below what you think about Alexander Lacazette. Do you think he should stay? Do you think he should leave? A new contract, is it well deserved? A new contract, is it a waste of time? Now let's move on, lads, to our next story, which is Dusan Vlahovic. Now, I've been looking at this story in the past 5 hours, and I was like, damn it, where are we going? Where is football really going? Newcastle are believed to be, I don't know what I should know. I don't know the word I should be really using, but they are believed to have tabled a 100 million bid for Dusan Vlahovic to Fiorentina. Absolute madness. Absolute madness. Now, this is according to Transfer Checker, and they are confirming that Newcastle have then placed a 100 million bid for Dusan Vlahovic, and Fiorentina will agree to this deal. However, there is also another big possibility that Dusan Vlahovic will not agree to join Newcastle. There is some positive there. There is some lots of positives there to think about that story. But the full story, guys, from Transfer Checker, they are saying that that Fiorentina have received a 3-digit bid from a Premier League club, and that club is Newcastle. Newcastle are really determined to stay up in the league. They're really determined to avoid relegation, and they're going to be spending money like never before. Now, what I can confirm, lads, is that there is no contact between Dusan Vlahovic agents and the player and Newcastle. At the moment, the player has not made up his mind. The player has not really decided where he's going to be playing football. And maybe that is the advantage that Arsenal have at the moment. That is the real big advantage we have at the moment. Because if it's known that if he agrees to join Newcastle, the 100 million, can we meet that asking price? Can we actually meet the 100 million price tag that has been set by Newcastle? They're crazy, aren't they? They're really, really crazy. They've got the money, they've got billions, they've got trillions of money, and I am not really surprised when they decide to start spending such ridiculous amounts of money there on such players. Now, what we know at the moment, guys, is that the player is looking at clubs with such features. One, you must be in the Champions League. Number two, you must be able to compete, in your own league for the title. And number three, you should be having a very, very good project. Now, what we know at Arsenal at the moment is that we have a project, and of course, Dusan Vlahovic could be the first, could be the new title of our project. He could be the branding of our project. There is no question there. But of course, the big question now, the big problem that we have at the moment is that we are not competing directly for the Premier League, and we are also not competing directly in the Champions League. But one thing I know is that we are better than Newcastle. We can give him the money he wants. Of course, they can give him more money, but we can also give him a very, very decent wage, and we're also giving him an opportunity to believe that Champions League football is possible. We are a club that is really fighting to get back to the top four. We are a club that will be very closely operating in those areas, 4th, 5th, and 6th, and of course that means you're playing in Europe every season. Of course, with Newcastle, you might get relegated. He might get relegated. If he joins Newcastle, I think we are better than Newcastle in terms of attractiveness, in terms of beauty, in terms of I don't know. We have some better makeup. We have very, very, very good money and pedicure. So I think Arsenal should be the destination of Vlahovic. But of course, 100 million for Dusan Vlahovic. Really, are we gonna match that? Are we going to pay that? It is believed that Arsenal paid already 85 million euros to Fiorentina, and they're just waiting for an agreement. I think what Fiorentina here are doing is just they're sitting back and they're saying, ha ha ha, we're having a laugh. Because it is that period when you just can't say anything. 85 million euros for Dusan Vlahovic, you would take that. 100 million euros for Dusan Vlahovic from Newcastle, you would really take that. So they do not care who takes the player. All they want is one club to agree terms with the player so that they get their money. Congratulations there to Fiorentina. They will be getting massive amounts of money for Dusan Vlahovic, and of course he's believed to be a great project in the future. But anyway, guys, away from that, again, there are so many crazy stories going on. Another 100 million rated player also linked with Arsenal, and this one is for me really unrealistic. Mason Greenwood. Let's talk about Mason Greenwood now. According to El Nacional, a publication in Spain, they are saying that Mason Greenwood seems to be very, very unhappy at Manchester United, and I totally disagree with that. Because if you look at how Manchester United do rely on Mason Greenwood, and if you look at the amount of game time he gets as a player, maybe under Ralf Rangnick he's not been getting that kind of player, that kind of playing time. But how long has Ralf Rangnick been at Manchester United? 1 game, 2 games, or maybe 3 games. You really can't say that he's not giving him game time. Yes, Ralf Rangnick prefers Rashford, Sancho, and Cristiano Ronaldo behind them. He plays predominantly plays Bruno Fernandes. But I do not see any reason for Mason Greenwood at the moment to leave Manchester United. He's a product academy. Of course, we know that he's a very integral part of their squad. If you look at the top scorers at that club, Mason Greenwood this season in the Premier League is very, very, very close to the top. So I don't see how Arsenal will get Mason Greenwood. It is crazy. It is absolutely crazy. What I'm going to say about this one is maybe the agents, maybe the camp of Mason Greenwood are trying there to say, look, our player is good, our player has been really doing well, please give him more time. And also, we need a new contract there, and we're going to use Arsenal as a as a smoke screen. So what they're trying to do there is they're trying to use Arsenal Football Club as a smoke screen. That is one of the things I really do not like. I'm not even going to discuss this story further. I'm not excited about it because I know it is an absolute joke of a story. Let's move on, lads, then to Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. What are the latest comments from Fabrizio Romano, and what are the latest comments from Ian Wright? Why does he believe at this point in time that Arsenal are really handling this in a very immature manner and in a very unprofessional way? Now, according to Ian Wright, he did come out, and criticize Mikel Arteta's comments in his press conference, and he said, instead of saying that we have taken this decision and we believe in it, we are trying to protect the club's interest. When you say that, you're really banging Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. You're really trying to show that Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang is really not in line for with the standards and interests of the club. You're really trying to show the fans and the rest of the world that this player is actually really astray. You're really trying to show them that this player doesn't deserve to be at Arsenal. And of course, Ian Wright, as a striker, was one of those players we know that really love Arsenal. One of those people that understand that they really do love the club, has come out and said the professional way Arsenal and Mikel Arteta could have handled this is, and of course, I would quote him. He said Mikel Arteta there could have just said he is our player and we will try to support him. I think that would have been the better one. If you remember when we were reacting to Mikel Arteta's press conference, I said it. I absolutely said it when he came out and said that he's not meeting the standards and therefore he's not going to be doing the basics with us. I said this guy is absolutely mad. You can't say that. You can't say that to a player who you have a very good relationship with. You can't say that to a player who's been the backbone of Arsenal Football Club for quite some time. Yes, he's made his mistakes. Yes, he's been so stupid. Yes, he's been so immature. But again, think about it. Immature plus immature, does that really correct the image of Arsenal Football Club? Does that give us a better understanding? I do not think so. So Ian Wright, for me, his comments really make some sense. Really make some sense. I think the way Mikel Arteta handled Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang's situation a little bit was outrageous. I don't think he should be frozen out. I say that, and it looks like Mikel Arteta is looking at the direction. So Fabrizio Romano yesterday, of course, I did discuss this. He was on Golazo, and he came out and said for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, it is over. It is absolutely over for Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. He's going to be leaving in January or even in the summer. If the right deal comes in. And of course, what that means is that Arsenal will be losing Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang on a free, or either not that it's going to be on a very cheap price. So what do you think about then, lads? Do you think maybe Mikel Arteta really got it wrong? Do you think you should have done better? Make sure you let me know. But also hit that like button. Let's get it to 300 likes on this video. Join Melbet and some extra money of your passion. Of course, link is in the video description, and use promo code Cossy when you reach there. But let's move on, lads, to now the other stories, which is the midfield. And Mikel Arteta is actually believed to want Arthur Melo as the priority in his midfield. Now, reports have actually been reporting that Arsenal will be going for Renato Sanchez, and of course, we've been given the green light to sign Renato Sanchez. However, it looks like Mikel Arteta is not really happy with Renato Sanchez. He's not really happy there with Renato joining Arsenal as a central midfielder. He would love Arthur Melo rather than Renato Sanchez. Of course, it could be a loan deal initially, for Arthur Melo from Juve. Juve are very open. They want anyone to come in and take these players away. Rabiot is one of them. Bentancur is the other. Arthur Melo, Dusan, and of course, Aaron Ramsey. Do not forget, they want Ramsey badly out. Of course, at the moment, Juve are really facing big financial difficulties. They're really facing big financial problems, and I really do not have any doubt that they will let many players go. And maybe if Arsenal can get to maybe Arthur Melo and Dusan Kulusevski, really quality players, really quality players, maybe they could add something to that Arsenal side. But Arthur Melo is the priority for Mikel Arteta. What do you think then, lads? Do you think maybe it's a good deal, or do you think it is not actually a very, very good deal at all? And of course, the last two emerging links of strikers from France, it is Jonathan David, who will cost us 55 million euros, and of course the man himself, Arthur Cabral from Basel, who will cost us around 25 million euros. Make sure you hit the like button, make sure you smash a like on the video. I'll speak to you in the next one, but I want to see 300 likes on this one. I want us to get to 100,000 subscribers by next year. In next year we should be at 100,000 subscribers, so make sure you're hitting that subscribe button, and maybe let me know in the comments below, do you enjoy the content? Do you love the content? I'll speak to you in the next one.